Welcome to episode 6 of the off-season. Today we're in Edendork GAA Club in Tyrone, where we're going to be speaking to All-Star and All-Ireland winner, Niall Morgan. Yes, Niall, how are we?
All good, all good.
Nice to meet you.
Same to you.
Welcome to episode 6.
Thank you.
Great to have you. So we're here in Edendork. Didn't take me that long to get here. Came from Dublin, 2 hours, but it's great to be here. You probably have a fair idea. You've seen a couple of other episodes, have you?
Yep, seen all episodes, yep.
So we're going to have a bit of a chat. A little bit windy here. Hopefully the wind will be in our favour for the challenge and the 40-yard dash. And we're actually going to talk a lot about kickouts in this episode because you're the first goalkeeper on the series. So let's just dive straight into it. Okay, Niall, so at the start of every episode, always try to bring it back, right back to underage. When was your first memory, really, of football?
First memory that I have was like youth training on Sunday morning. Our club still goes every Sunday morning, right from like under 6s would train right through to maybe under 13s now.
Right, okay.
But my dad would have been one of the main coaches then. He actually started the Sunday morning training for the youth. Don't know how many years ago now, like I'm 31, so you're talking, I'd have been up here from, I was 2 or 3 years old, probably left in the steps in the car got, and he'd have been down coaching, and I suppose from, I can distinctly remember under 8 training, coming from 10 o'clock mass in the chapel, and getting changed on the steps, and coming down and just getting stuck into training, and like that was just every Sunday for your whole way through your youth, like it was great.
Right, okay, so that's under 10s, under 12s, and when did the competitive game start happening? Was it blitzes?
Oh, if you know me, it was competitive from
day one. It's quite competitive up here,
I've sort of mellowed slightly. People laugh at even hearing me saying that, but whenever I was younger, like you had to win everything. Like it didn't matter what it was. I was playing, like even maths in school. Like I had to be the first finish. Like
right,
I was just ultra competitive, and just so like. Under 8s blitzes, under 10 blitzes, school tournaments. Like I mightn't have been winning, but it was always competitive for me. Like I just always wanted to win. My mum actually dug out school reports, like from teachers, and my P6 teacher had wrote that I was sure to go far if I learned to control my temper.
Right, okay. So, and you think that has probably stood to you the whole way right up through the years? That's great.
Definitely, yeah.
And Edendork now, just on a club level, were they competing in Division 1 under 14s, 16s? Were they always at the top divisions? Or?
My age group, we were Division 3 at under 14. We got to the final and got beat by Brackenville, which I have a load of cousins were playing against me. Right.
That's a derby, is a close one, is it?
It's close enough, yeah. Dungannon would be our main derby, but like around here there's so many teams locally. Yeah. Under 16s then we moved up to Grade 2 and we got to the Grade 2 final. Beat by Brackenville again. Okay. I actually missed 10 free kicks in the final.
And what age group is this?
This is under 16.
Under 16, okay.
I missed 10 free kicks in the final. I'd scored 115 in the semi-final and missed 10 then in the final. Then in minors, we were Grade 1. We got to the quarter-final of the championship, which was great for us. Like we just, the fact we competed from coming from Grade 3, Grade 2, and we're competing now. And then whenever we got to under 21, we actually got the Grade 1 championship final. Right, and we were beat by Dromore, which, you know, so we showed a great improvement the whole way through. I actually never won a medal for Edendork the whole way through. Didn't win any underage, but the team coming a couple of years after me, Darren McCurry's team, they won Grade 1 doubles, like, and like sometimes you're looking on thinking, oh, if only I was born a couple of years later, like it would have been. Right,
great. Okay, I'm sure that's quite common in many clubs.
Yeah.
So you're just, when you mentioned free kicks, so you're literally hitting free kicks from that age?
Yeah, I was hit free kicks all the way through from when I was younger. Started hitting them off the ground whenever I was maybe about 14 or so. Yeah. I was hitting 45s from when I was 14.
And where does that come from? Is it just a matter of you picking a ball up and going, look, I might try?
It was my soccer background that got me. So I played soccer from I was 8.
Right.
And at under 10s, I was playing outfield, and then the goalkeeper left, so I was the worst soccer player that played Gaelic.
Right, okay.
so I was putting nets, and then so I've been striking off the ground from I was like 9 years old, like for distance, and it just gradually developed, like, and it's just got me to where I am.
And
now,
Dungannon Swifts, is it?
That was Dungannon youth then, and then it progressed right through, and I had a season and a half, two seasons maybe as first choice keeper before I went to Tyrone.
Right.
At Dungannon Swifts, so it was like soccer had a massive part to play in my background. Like,
brilliant. And even at that age group, 16s, minor, I know there's a lot of talk of maybe old school coaches saying that they need to pick one sport. Was that ever an issue with you growing up, or were they quite supportive playing soccer and Gaelic alongside?
Both were quite supportive. It just came down to, like, I always decided on basically which game was most important at the time. Like, so, like, obviously if you had a championship game with your club, like here, you would have went and played for Edendork, and if you had a cup game with Dungannon, you would have went and played.
And both managers understand.
Yeah, both managers were grand. But like back then, I think even like soccer was every Saturday morning at the same time. Gaelic was either a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday, and like you had the odd weekday match whenever you were playing in the summer. Like, but there never really was Gaelic on Saturday mornings, and it's actually a bit of a bugbear of mine now. Like that, Gaelic's starting to encroach into that Saturday morning slot. Whenever like it's the one time of the week that soccer is always on, and I think it's nearly going against like giving children the opportunity to play multiple sports. As part of my masters in St Mary's, I done one of the modules was in sport, and looked into that early specialisation, and basically said how like it can be so counterproductive for you just to go into one sport. Like, so I'd be a big advocate for young lads playing as many different sports as they possibly can and finding what they're good at, and ultimately you probably end up coming back to where you started anyway. But it gives you there's lots of links between the different sports like that'll help your skills.
That's fantastic. No, that's great to hear, because as a coach myself, I think it is at that young age, and let's say if you're going into your seniors, you probably had to make more of a commitment to one or the other. At Edendork, you probably made your senior debut quite young, did you?
Yeah, I actually made my senior debut, like I came off the bench in 2007. Played the last 6 reserve games of 2007, which was the end of my under 16 year. Probably wasn't legally allowed to play.
Wow.
And then I started the first game of the league the following year. Then I was still 16, and it was the day after we won the Hogan Cup.
Yeah.
So we won the Hogan Cup on the Saturday.
You have a Hogan Cup medal?
Yeah.
Oh right, I didn't know that. Okay.
So we won the Hogan Cup on Saturday. I think it was the 5th of April. And then I started for Edendork on the Sunday the 6th.
Right, okay.
So my dad actually came into the dressing room after the match and he says, I know you don't drink, son, but because we need to be home earlier starting tomorrow.
Brilliant, right, okay. So really, really young, and you were always outfield from day one. You never played in goalkeeper really for Edendork?
No, for Edendork, that year I started the first 3 or 4 games outfield. I started corner forward the first game, corner forward the second game, midfield the third game. And we got an absolute hammering in the third game, and the fourth game I was put back in the nets. Right. Because they'd done goals for the McCrory Cup and Hogan Cup team in school. And then, so I done goals the rest of that year, and the majority of that year, and the week of the championship, the manager said you're playing midfield again. That's some change, okay. I was actually going to the Milk Cup that day. And I was thinking, like, I do not need to be playing midfield here. I'm going to the Milk Cup this afternoon.
And that's such a big tournament for soccer.
Yeah, it was huge. Like, cause that was my last year at Milk Cup. It was probably my last opportunity to get spotted. Like, and then the following year I was back. I'd done goals again the following year, and then from the next year on, sort of I played outfield because Mark McReynolds, who was Tyrone County minor keeper, he was then the right age to be able to play. So he done goals and I played out. Right, okay. Okay, so you mentioned your debut is 2007. Yep. So from the years 2007 right up until, did you win any leagues, the intermediate leagues, 2010, 2011, those years? Yeah, 2011 then we won the intermediate league. And that was your first success? That was my first taste of success for the club? For the club, yeah. Wow. That was my first ever time winning a medal. We actually still hadn't won a championship game at that stage. I hadn't won a championship game at senior level at that stage. The first time I won a senior championship game was 2014. So you went 2007 right up to 2014 not winning a championship game? Yeah. Right. And because of straight knockout in Tyrone, it was just, you were just gone. lost your first game and that was you out, like, and that was bouncing between intermediate and senior.
Okay.
So, and like we still couldn't, even in intermediate, we couldn't get over the line in a championship game, like. And then 2014 we won, and then so the first round, Tyrone always played the first round of the championship after the first weekend of Ulster Championship football.
Yes.
So we played that like May time maybe, and Tyrone got knocked out early that year in 2014.
Okay.
And I went to America and missed the quarter-final. Me and Harry O'Connell were in America while they were getting beaten, put out of the championship again. Like, so, so we weren't the flavour of the month whenever we returned home.
All right, okay. And where did you go in America that year?
Went to the Ulster Club in San Francisco.
Very good, right, okay. Great times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The following year, 2015, was a big year for Edendork. Intermediate championship.
Yeah, we won the intermediate championship then, like, and just showed like we just needed to get sort of the monkey off the back of winning the championship game. Liam Donnelly came in to manage us, Matty and Richie's dad. Okay. Which was huge for us, like, because like he had serious pedigree. At one stage they were talking he was going to be the next Tyrone manager.
Right.
And he came in to manage us and just give us real belief, and even he was a very good man manager. Like even his training would have been good, but it was more the belief that he instilled in us more than anything, and he got the best out of so many of us.
Right. So that's 2015, and you've been on. How did you go far in Ulster, or maybe
we were beaten the first game by Loughlin Island. Then.
Okay.
We had a few injuries. Harry O'Connell, who was our captain, he got injured in the league game between the championship final and the Ulster, and our goalkeeper was up missing as well, so we had a bit of reshuffling to do in the pack, and we just Loughlin Island end up going, and I think they won All Ireland that year. I'm not 100% sure, but they definitely won Ulster. Right. Okay. At a bit of a canter too.
Now, Edendork, from me looking outside, you've always been a team that's went from intermediate to senior back down. You've done a lot of chopping and changing. Why do you feel as if maybe the club hasn't maybe went? Because just bring it back. I know you said you didn't have much success at Underage, but McCurry coming through, his group won a lot of Grade 1. How come those lads didn't blend into the senior?
It's hard. It's something we always talk about, like, as a club, that like 1 to 15 we probably have as good a 15 in the county, like. And everybody would always say that to us, like you've got all the players, you've all the tools, but like we don't have a massive pick, which makes it difficult, because then you have start games in Tyrone for the league. So at the minute you're taking me, Darren and Con out of a 15, then you're always going to have your 2 or 3 injuries. So you're down like 6 players before anything you even look, and like we might have 3, 4, 5 on the bench, and we have a few younger boys coming through now, but we just never really had that belief that, you know what, we can cope without, and we can kick on, and it's maybe even more we can't cope without Darren than anything at times, and he does take so much of the burden of the club, like, and does so much of our scoring and stuff, but it's something that we're definitely trying to overcome at the minute, and we're hoping we can start to make strides and stay in senior for a while. Yeah, absolutely. And you've had most recent success 2020, and to be another intermediate championship. That's the most recent one. Yeah, that was the year coming out of COVID, and so me, Darren and Con were here every night at training. We were pushing it on. We won every game in the league, every game in the championship. We weren't really stretched really at all the whole year, and we thought, like, right, this is the start of we're now going to finally kick on. Like, we were nearly all in our prime at that stage. Like, I was as fit as I've ever been as well that year. Took into road running during lockdown and really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed getting fit, the mental side of things. And then the following year, because Tyrone didn't do any relegations, they decided they were going to play 9 start games. So they're taking the 3 of us boys out for 9 games. We had 1 point on the board whenever we were coming back. The week after the All Ireland, we had to win, or we were relegated. We like, you know,
you've had a tough time of it.
Yeah, it's, you know, you're making excuses as well, like, because it's every club's facing the same battle, but there's no coincidence that the likes of ourselves and Pomroy are going up and down all the time whenever we have a lot of county men and have a small squad to pick from. Like, it's not a coincidence. Right, okay. So you're up to senior now, and hopefully now push on, and I'm sure you're looking forward to this year. So bring you back a little bit now. I want to talk about Tyrone. Okay, a lot of stuff to talk about there. Bring you right back to
not so much as young as under 16 minor. I was looking, did you play for Tyrone Minor, Tyrone 21?
I played minors in 09. In between the two All-Ireland successes, we got put out in the first round by Armagh. So
right.
Again, you're sort of thinking a year
same as
earlier,
McCann, was it? Tiernan said the exact same thing. He missed out on one.
That was our team, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, me, Tiernan, Ronan McNamee, Shane McGuigan.
And you were goals for that team?
I done goals for that team, yeah. Even though, like, at that stage, I was playing completely outfield for the club.
Yeah.
I was doing goals for the club senior team. Maybe.
Yeah.
And
did you ever feel as if you were good enough to play outfield for the county at that age group?
I've always said I've more than enough ability to play outfield. I still have enough ability to play outfield for Tyrone, but it's just I don't have the mental drive to get fit. Is
that a conversation you've ever had with any of the Tyrone managers that you'd like to give it a go outfield?
I've never had it with Mickey, but I played outfield in the first trial with Brian and Fergal came in.
Right.
And that was their choice. They actually said, look, we want you to play out, and I scored 4 points at the trial. And then we just had the conversation after, and I said, look, I'm 29 years of age I was at that stage. And I was saying, like, do I want to have a bad game outfield and be stuck on a bench all year, or do I want to be still considered one of the better keepers in the country?
There would have been a lot of pressure on you, you know, coming out.
At that stage, like, it was just too late. Like, if Brennan Fergal had come in whenever I was 24, 25, 100%, I would have said, yeah, look, I'll do whatever it takes to be an outfielder at this stage, and if it doesn't work out, then I'll walk away, like, and know that I've given it a chance. But it was just too late to make that push.
Right. Okay. And what about 21s then? Did you just
played under 21s in 2011? Then played under 21s, which would have been a year young.
Okay.
And then we lost Ulster final to Cavan, just the same as Tiernan, that. But the following year, then I was Dungannon's #1 keeper.
Right, for their first senior team.
For the first team, and I had the conversation with Raymond Monroe about doing both, because the under 21 games were all Wednesday evening.
Right.
And we had sort of agreed that I would train on a Monday, play on a Wednesday for Tyrone under 21s, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday would be with Dungannon. And then they came back to me a couple of weeks later and just said, look, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, did either coach say, like, look, it's too much it's going to be perfect for both teams?
No, Dungannon were happy enough for me to work away, as long as I didn't miss anything that they had, and Tyrone were happy enough to start with. But then I think it was more a case of, like, you were still going to be missing a session every week, and at county level it's hard to convince other lads that people are buying in whenever they're not going to be there. Like.
And was it a success for that team that you missed out on?
No, again, that was Cavan's. What did they do?
Right, okay, they won none of those.
Yeah. So.
Right, okay.
And I was actually Mark McReynolds from my club end up on the team, like, so it just showed the calibre of keeper we have at the club, and that sort of is what allows me to play out for the club still.
And is Mark the keeper now?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, right. So you definitely have a top class keeper there.
Yeah.
Played Tyrone stuff. So you made your debut for Tyrone seniors. Mickey Hart took you in.
Yeah.
Was it 2013?
Yeah, 2013. So it came about in 2012. We played a club championship game in Killisland against Derrylahan.
Right.
I actually didn't start because I was playing soccer at the time, and I was working in the bookies as well, and I was just missing too many trainings. But at the end of the day, I was getting paid to play soccer, and it was just more important. And I was still available for all the games for Edendork. I just wasn't getting to train as much.
Yeah.
So I was on the bench, but I came on after 20 minutes and I scored 1-4.
Right.
All from place balls. The goal was actually a free kick. The keeper was arguing with the referee, and I took it quick and put it in the net, and the referee just said to the keeper, well, you shouldn't have been slapping.
Right.
So, and after the match, I was standing up with my dad. Argyll Kieran were playing Moortown.
Yeah.
I was actually standing with my now wife, Ciara, and her friend Chrissy. Them two went off to the bathroom, and my dad had seen enough of the second game. It was probably more a case of Edendork had got beaten, he was in bad form over it.
Right.
And off he went. So I was standing by myself, and then next you know, I just felt somebody coming down and standing beside me, and I looked beside me, and Mickey Hart was standing there.
Right.
I was sort of like, what's this man? And he says, started chatting about the game, and then he says, what about coming and playing for Tyrone next year? I sort of, nah, not interested. Like, first choice keeper for Dungannon, and getting paid, it's handy money, and I'm still at university, but after university I would consider it.
Right, okay. What age were you then?
I was
Just out 22, I suppose, 22, 23?
21, just turned 21.
Right.
And he said, no, I'd like you to really consider this. And I said, I will look, I'll think about it, but at the minute I'm not interested. And he texted me in a couple of months later and said, Tyrone trials Wednesday night. John Devine and Pascal can't go. Is there any chance you could help us out?
Okay.
And me being 21, mad keen looking to play football, probably naive, believed that these two men couldn't make it, like, even though he had probably said, look, don't worry about it. And I just thought, I'll go, no bother. So I went up and played in the trial, back again the following Wednesday, and then he rang me the following Saturday. And I can still remember the conversation. I was sitting on the edge of my bed, putting on my Dungannon Swifts stuff, ready to go to a match. And he said, I want you to be part of the team. And I still said, look, no, I'm not interested in playing soccer. But he said, look, come to the meeting Monday week and listen to what we have to say. And
he wrapped you up.
And he sweet talked me. And
was there any other club men involved that time?
Darren was there. But,
okay. Did Darren help at all?
No, I'd told Darren that I wasn't going near it. And we went to the meeting on the Monday night, and I arrived and Darren said, what are you doing here? Because I didn't even travel with him or not. He didn't know I was going, and I didn't know I was going to the last minute, sort of. And I spoke to Dad and spoke to Ciara, and Ciara's GAA mad. Like, she's not really into soccer at all. She knows the rules, but she just doesn't understand why anybody would watch it. Like, that you'd watch 90 minutes and no goals or nothing happened. So sort of decided for her sake, for family's sake, like my own sake, like I dreamed of playing for Tyrone. I didn't dream of playing for Dungannon Swifts. And after the meeting, Mickey and Tony Donnelly came down and they said, well, what do you think? And I says, well, yeah, look, I'm going to come on board, but I'm only coming if I'm number one. I'm not sitting on the bench.
Right.
And you could see sort of Mickey looking at me going, is this man for real? Like, he's laying down.
Talking to him after him winning All Irelands and you tell him what to do,
and Tony Donnelly says, Tony was a real joker, like, and he says, if you keep hitting free kicks the way you're hitting them, you'll not have to worry about sitting on the bench. Right,
okay, very good. So that was the start of it. Now,
and I went straight on.
Fair play to Mickey for sticking it out, because
I went straight on as number one. I played every league game, and then I played at the Donegal game.
So this 2012, sorry?
This is 2013 now. This is the start of 2013.
Because you had a rough year, you had an injury that year?
Yeah, so 2013, I played my last Dungannon Swifts game on the Saturday, Lisburn Distillery, and started against Derry the next day in the McKenna Cup. And that was the changeover. Just in one weekend, bang, I was gone from Dungannon and I was now a Tyrone player. And I trained once for Tyrone maybe, and I was starting.
Straight in.
And then we, I had a very good league. I had 18 points in the league, got man of the match in the league final, even though we were beat. And I was going into the Ballybuffet for my championship debut, and Pascal McConnell was saying, look, be aware here, like, this is different. And I was going, there was 36,000 at the league final, Packy, there's going to be 18,000 here. I says, what could be so bad? And I've never faced an atmosphere like it, even to this day. Missed 5 free kicks, scored one, and the one that I scored a couple of years to the crowd.
What was that year?
That was that year. Made a complete idiot of myself, and just couldn't wait the next game to be able to rectify it.
Right.
And the next game was the following week here. We played Dungannon, the rivals, and they were giving me gyp from the start of it. We beat them by 2 or 3 points. I scored 8 points. Didn't miss a free. Just had and you're sort of thinking, why couldn't I have done this last week? And the following week I done my knee. I done the lateral ligament in my knee going up for a ball down in Derry Tresk. Landed, went to turn, and the whole knee just shot out the side. So that was me out for the rest of the Tyrone season. Came back and played a wee bit of club at the end of the year, but it was an abrupt end and massive learning curve for me.
Massive, okay. So just even, I wouldn't have said that you made a tit yourself. It's just a matter of getting into the atmosphere, because obviously the Donegal fans are behind you.
Yeah. You know what? It was more immaturity than anything else. Yeah. Like now you just laugh it off and you get on with things. But I had just got sucked in, and they put me off my game by doing it. So it worked for them. Like. Right.
Okay. So, we're at 2014. You come back straight back in another year.
Yeah.
Tyrone didn't win Ulster till 2016. 2016, am I right?
2016 we won Ulster. Yeah, we had a decent year. I wasn't starting the whole way through.
Why do you think that was? Our performances?
I can't remember whether that was the year we just rotated or it was maybe I broke my hand one of the years and tore my quad one of the other ones. I think 2016 I tore my quad. Missed the last league game, and Mickey was just getting ready for coming back whenever the championship came out. So he started Mickey.
Okay.
And Mickey played, and then I came in maybe the semi-final and final.
Right.
And then in 2017 I broke my hand.
Right. Okay.
And,
is that a club or?
A club game, yeah. I just know the reach around tackle. We sort of tried to punch, and I hit the boy's elbow, and just cracked this bone.
Yeah. And the knee injury as well was club.
The knee injury was club as well.
Do you feel as if because you're an outfielder of club, you're a lot more?
Yeah, so that was the big thing at that stage. Then Mickey sort of started to say, right, look, it's going to have to. And I said, look, it's one or the other. Like I either play outfield from a club and play for Tyrone, or
play outfield for club.
I just play outfield for club,
right?
And go back to soccer.
Right.
And so, because playing outfield is what I enjoy more. Like I enjoy being involved in play, enjoy the thick of things and getting involved in the action. Like so,
yeah.
I just wouldn't. Maybe as I get older, I probably will slip back into goals for the club. But just whenever I'm at this stage, I just prefer to be playing out.
Right, okay. Now you've done double 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
And then you did have a couple of quiet years until the big one. Did you win Ulster in 18, 19, 20?
16, 17 we won Ulster, and then 2018 we got to the final, All Ireland final.
Yes, that's right. You beat Monaghan in the semi-final.
Yeah, Monaghan put us out of Ulster in the first round, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Monaghan or Donegal, one of the two, and then we got a run to the All Ireland final.
And anything that stood out to you? I asked Tyrone the same thing in 2018. Just feel as if you just weren't at the level of Dublin, or?
We weren't even close. Like it was, no matter how much you wanted to believe that you were going to beat them, there was still always that doubt in your head that, gee, these boys are just
different breed,
absolutely primed. Like it was so tough to take that, like, and just to know that you were so far off. That. It was actually quite hard to accept, like that. You felt like you were in your prime and you still weren't close, like.
Yeah, well, it just shows how good that team were. I don't think any team would be
unbelievable.
the
same. I don't think that'll ever happen again. I really don't, and it probably will at some stage, but I don't think it'll happen in our lifetime that a team will be that good, like.
Yeah. So 2021, massive year, the pinnacle of your football career, would you say?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, is it a rough up and down year? I always bring it back to that game in Kerry.
Yeah.
I asked Tyrone the same thing. He told me that you've got a lot of home truths, and maybe he's played a system that just didn't work, and he's brought it back to the basics, and you did a lot of running after. Was there anything that stood out for you, just even after the final whistle, or were you playing that day?
I was playing, yeah. Again, you were going down with so much belief that you could win, but we hadn't won Killarney at that stage.
Do you stay over the night before? Is that what you do?
Stay the night before. We always, if we're outside of Ulster, we always stay the night before. It doesn't matter where we go.
Oh, really?
And then the rumours started coming out that we had trained the night before.
Okay.
So obviously, 4, 5, 6 hours in a bus down to Killarney. We went down to the park beside the hotel.
Right.
We've done a bit of stretching and rolling and flicking the ball about and messing about more than anything.
That was the day before?
The day before.
Right.
And suddenly the rumour was that we'd done a training session.
Right, okay.
And after the match I was saying, yeah, let them think that, because we need some sort of excuse to get up this road, boys.
Right, okay.
But straight after the game, we went back to the hotel, and Brian sort of had a few words to be fair, very in the moment, sensible words. Look, forget about this. We're down for the night. Go and enjoy your night, and we'll regroup on Tuesday. And I remember I could feel the emotion starting to overcome me a wee bit. And as I was walking past him, I apologised for my own performance, because I knew it just wasn't at it. And I went back to the room, and it was the end of the COVID was still about, so we had all our own rooms.
Yeah.
And I remember just setting the bag on the floor, sitting on the end of the bed, and I just started crying and crying and crying. And
right, okay. Was it purely just on football?
Yeah, just the emotion of everything that just happened, and you felt like you'd let so many people down.
Right.
And And like you never go out on the pitch, but to do that. And then we went, we were for going out that night and having a few beer just to, you know, regardless of how the result went. And the bus took us up into Killarney town, and as we get off the bus, all the Kerry people were out clapping us. It didn't feel like it was sarcastic. It actually felt like, you know, they're genuine
They can
GAA
understand,
people.
right? Okay.
But they're genuine GAA people down in Kerry. And
Now,
like,
if you were in Tyrone, would they have clapped you?
No, absolutely not.
Right.
But then we probably, as Tyrone do, like we end up turning it at the end of the year and saying, remember that clap us?
And then doing that in the goodness of the heart, having a recording of it.
Made ages of us.
You definitely did that too, didn't you?
So like that's like we love doing that in Tyrone. Like we get the chip on our shoulder and we use anything we can at all as motivation. Like, and it was.
Yeah, you do realise there's not that big of a chip there, but if whatever works for you.
Everybody hates us.
Yeah. No, I don't. I know. We don't. But yeah, so that was a massive change. You've obviously had a tough couple of weeks.
Yeah.
After that, and you got them. That you take Kerry then in the semi-final.
Yeah, we done really well through Ulster. We beat Cavan, were the reigning holders. We beat them first. We beat Donegal, who we couldn't seem to get over at that stage, and then we beat Monaghan. And
that was an absolute.
That was probably the craziest game I've ever been involved with. The two of us were at that day was probably will never be seen again. Like, and we'll never take it that extreme again. Like, but
you and
me and Rory. Like, it's completely changed. Like now, if you go to a GAA game and the keeper hasn't pushed up on the kick out, you're almost thinking, why is he standing back there?
Yeah.
And it's completely changed things. And
now, who's the first coach that brought you and maybe pushed up the kick outs? Like, there was just a time in like literally 2 or 3 months where that flipped in the head between you and Began, and a couple of us just standing out, marking space.
I think it was. We played Donegal in the previous couple of years, and Patton was getting kickouts long against us constantly over the top. And before we played them in the championship, we said, right, how are we going to nullify this? And I think it was Peter Donnelly said, Niall, go you out and stand in that gap, and wherever you see the gap, go you and stand in it, and just put him off sending that kick out over the midfield.
So with Peter Donnelly, that said you first?
Yeah. So I done it against Donegal, but nobody really noticed it because it was just the semi-final and it wasn't in Croke Park, and they don't have as good at camera angles and stuff. Whereas we went to Croke Park the next week and we said, right, we done that to Patton, let's do it to Rory.
Right.
And we done it, but because of the camera angles in Croke Park, everybody's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then what really brought it was the time that Woods came on. And
you went up to
I was standing beside him, and it was great because he just stood there. And Rory was screaming at him, come in, he'll not follow you. And as I started moving, Peter Donnelly was going, go with him. So I was going with him, and I was going, Pete, there's a long way from home here. Like. So,
did it go to him? No.
Yeah. He went the whole way into the 21, like, and I was sort of like, right, this is enough's enough here, Pete. Like,
16 outfield players.
So he got it, and I went sprinting back, but Petey Hart had covered the nets, I think, at that stage anyway. So.
Right. Okay, so it's quite common now.
Yeah.
I mean, it works when it's patting, you know what I mean, if it's a long distance.
Yeah, well, I think this is the thing. Like some teams are just doing it because they see.
Yeah.
Like that we have it done, and then you're sort of going. Like last week, I done it against Fermanagh, and with respect to the Fermanagh keeper and the time of the year as well, the ball's not travelling as far, and I sort of pushed up too far, and Fergal said to me, look, you don't need to do it every time. Like you have to start thinking about who you're playing against,
right?
Weather conditions and stuff. So even I had to be reined back in a wee bit. Like I think it's important managers start to sort of realise that. But yeah, so after the Monaghan game, then we went to Kerry, and all you could think about in the whole lead up to it was 6 goals in the league. Like, and I was petrified. I'm nervous before every game anyway, but I was really nervous, and we decided that with their press, we were just going to go over it all day. Just didn't matter what was on. We were just going to go as far over their press and take out as many men. And even if we lost the majority of our kickouts, if we won them, we were going to be well into their half.
Yeah.
And that's what we done. We just, every kick-out, I just launched as far as I could, and we were getting the ball down towards their 45, and then it was a scrap. And even if they won it,
yeah,
it's a lot of work to do to get a score then, back up the pitch. Whereas if you get overturned in your own 45, like it saps so much of your energy, and it's most likely going to be a score, like. So yeah, and it paid off in the long run. We stuck at it, and we got joy out of it. We turned them over.
Yeah, I remember the final whistle that game. I just go, Tyrone's going to win another All Ireland here. I felt as if he's got to a final, he'll take it.
Yeah, look, I knew myself as well. Like once we beat Kerry, and obviously you couldn't go out and say it, but you just knew you were going to win. You just
self-confidence.
Yeah, the confidence of finally getting over Kerry for us, because we hadn't done it. Like my team was just massive, like, and you just knew that. Right.
And then Mayo, massive point there when the penalty was missed. Are you claiming that as
That's a save?
Is that kind of a save, is it?
If it doesn't go in the net, it's a save. Yeah.
Was there anything that stood out in that game that momentum changed, or did you work on anything you really focused on the weeks leading up to it?
No, I think we sort of realised again that if we went out over the top of the press, like Mayo's forwards are unbelievable tacklers.
Yeah. And
we sort of thought like we need to take the opportunity for them to get their tackles in out of their hands, and we knew that like if we got the 1v1 at the other side of the pitch, that we had players capable of getting scores, and we done the same. And to be fair, like Con and Brian were unbelievable that day in midfield. Like they were just super. Like, and whenever you have, like whenever I started playing for Tyrone, we had Collie and Sean in midfield, and Collie's obviously brilliant there. Sean's good in the air, but he's not like as combative, I suppose, of a midfielder.
Right. Okay.
And then we went to Matty in midfield as well, and Matty was a brilliant ball carrier, but he wasn't like like you're looking out and seeing him stand beside David Moore and you're not kicking him the ball.
Yeah.
And now we've got Con and Brian at 6'4" and 6'5", like, and you suddenly have two targets, like.
Brilliant. Okay. So you won All-Star that year?
Yep.
Yeah, brilliant. And were you nominated for All-Stars in the previous years?
I was nominated in 2017, the year we got the semi-final.
Right.
I wasn't nominated in 18, the year we got the final. I think Rory
got that one.
Rory got that one.
Yeah.
He had an unbelievable year that year, like, and just.
Do you be in contact with the keepers around Ireland much? I know you're with Precision a wee bit.
Yeah, with Precision, I suppose we've got, excuse me, we've got a group like of us, and we all get on, and then me and Rory have been in contact right and often. Rob Hanley have been in contact with now and again, and then we done a goalkeeping camp before Christmas there with, it was me, Rob, Rory, Sean Patton, Donald Hughes, Monica McGurk and Anna Kiar.
Okay. Do you do a bit of any coaching yourself? Any with the club?
I did do a bit for a while, but I've two wee children now, and it's just
family man now,
yeah, it's just trying to be sensible with my time, I suppose, and play golf.
Brilliant. Me time. Brilliant. Today's episode is kindly sponsored by Whoop.
Whoop is a device that I've been using for years, which monitors my recovery, sleep, training and health, and gives me personalised recommendations and coaching feedback. Whoop analyses my key metrics like HRV and rest and heart rate to determine a daily recovery score, and shows me how lifestyle and training behaviours affect my recovery. Top GAA athletes at county and club level are using Whoop daily to take the guesswork out of their training. Based on your recovery, you'll get a daily target exertion goal to help avoid overtraining and undertraining. I have left a link in the description box for you to sign up for a free month to use towards your off-season training and recovery.
Okay, Niall, so we're on to our first segment of the episode. It's going to be the 16 quickfire questions. And the reason why it's 16 questions is because on the average 16 weeks in a club player's off-season, okay? So these are quickfire. I'm going to fire them at you. Your favourite musician, favourite genre, anything like that?
Christy Moore. Easy one. Name the son after him and everything.
Really? Yeah.
Spelled it differently, like, but that's where the name came from.
Would you be listening to music before a game?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
You're not listening to Christy Moore, are you?
I could, no bother. I could listen to Christy Moore no matter where I go. Luke Combs as well. I'm not into like music with no words.
Right, techno and stuff.
Yeah,
no,
not
pop
a big
music.
fan. Like, no.
And you've seen him loads of times, have you?
Yeah, love him. Yeah.
Right, okay. Does he know you?
No, I wish.
Okay.
If you're out there, Christy,
give me a shout if you're watching this. Favourite takeaway order?
Pizza,
What's your toppings?
Americano pizza, salami, peppers, onions, sweet corn, chili flakes.
Jeez, enough there ingredients. And anywhere in particular you want to give a plug that is the best pizza?
And if I didn't give pizzeria in Cookstown a plug,
I
get told off by the wife. Like it's like the holy grail of pizza. If you've gone to Cookstown, don't say a bad word about the pizzeria.
What's it called?
Fairhill Pizzeria.
In Cookstown?
Yeah.
Top class?
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Favourite holiday destination?
Orlando. Went to Orlando with their own team last year. It was unbelievable. Loved
Yeah,
it.
you just went to Disney World and all?
Yeah, Universal was class. Unreal. Just completely exceeded my expectations.
Brilliant, okay. Just really quickly on that, you went for 2 weeks, didn't you? With Miami and did the whole lot?
10 days. We went to Orlando for 5 and Miami for 5. Miami I wasn't fussed on. I wouldn't go back.
Jeez, I loved it. I was there last year. I thought it was unbelievable. And I went for a festival and stuff. So
yeah, well, we went and it was like, it might have been because it was like in around Christmas time and we were there midweek and like we went to go to a bar and I think it was the Wednesday night. There was nothing open. We were like, this is so. We thought we were coming to Miami to party every night, like you know. But it could have been just the time of the year or whatever, like, too, and you know, just. But I just wasn't really my sort of scene anyway. Like.
Right. Okay. Favorite pair of football boots?
Predators. Any type of Adidas Predator.
Would you get are you sponsored by?
no,
We get free pizzas, free boots.
We do get we get Puma boots with Tyrone. But they come sporadically. Like if I knew there was going to be boots arriving, you know, 2 times a year, 3 times a year, you'd have no bother wearing them. Like boots, not a big thing for me. I love wearing different boots. But if I knew they were going to come at a certain time, I'd wear them. But it's just like last year, a pair arrived the week after we were put out by Armagh.
Right, a bit late then.
Bit late to these.
Right, okay. And would you just always have 2 pair of boots with you every match day?
Yeah, always bring 2 pairs. Yeah,
Studs and moldies.
I usually always wear soft ground. It would need to be rock hard for me to wear moldies. Like.
So I actually had a conversation with Rory. He said that he always wears studs.
Yeah.
I hope I got that right. So you know that's a thing for goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Just for slipping.
More grip, like in them, like, and even for kicking as well. That you know you're limiting your chances of slipping, I suppose, more than anything.
Right, okay. Your least favourite football ground?
Ballybuffet.
Just because you've bad experiences, or?
No, it's just a horrible place.
Don't like it. It's a right journey, isn't it?
It's just, like, it's all windy roads to get to it. The pitch is so uneven, it goes up and down. It's really narrow, it's tough to get kickouts away. I've had bad experiences in it. And it just, I haven't really, well, we actually had a great experience but in the Super 8 game in 2018, beating Donegal the last day out, like, but it's just never really like going to it at all.
Yeah, okay, very good. Your morning routine?
With 2 kids, it varies drastically. Like, usually you get the door being opened at about 10 to 7. We man learned how to climb his stairgate to get out of his door.
Right,
push
okay.
the pillows over, so now we just leave it open, and he just comes in, and you just hear the footsteps, and that's you up.
Is there anything that you need to do every morning, whether it's coffee or anything?
No, well, I wouldn't leave the bedroom without showering. Like, I shower every morning. That just is my wake up. Even if I'm going to football training, I'll shower before I leave the house. Like,
if you're training 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock, you'll shower?
Yeah, if we're training at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll shower.
Right,
Starts my
day
with a shower every day, and just wakens me up and freshens me up, and then breakfast-wise, I could eat anything. Wouldn't faze me. Coffee now and again. Like to have a glass of orange juice.
Okay.
Just, again, sort of wakens you up a wee bit more.
And would you focus heavily on nutrition, or?
No real focus on it at all. I eat sort of what I want when I want, and doesn't really matter. Like every night, me and the wife had a cup of tea and a packet of crisps and a couple of bars.
All year round doesn't matter?
Yeah, all year round, it doesn't matter. No.
Right, okay. Lucky for some.
High metabolism.
Yeah.
it's waning. It's waning.
It's catching up on you. Bringing us on to drink of choice, alcoholic and non-alcoholic. Are you a big drinker? Would you, off season, would you be?
Like off season, I enjoy going for a few drinks. Like, I actually went off it for about 14 months, a couple of years back.
Was there a reason, or?
Yeah, well, after the deaths at the Greenvale Hotel that time, like one of the young lads was from the club, Tyrone Career, and whenever I get the news, I was drunk, like a right few beer in me at that stage, and I reacted really badly to it.
Okay.
And I sort of thought, like, if this is how I've reacted to this, like, you know, what if this was one of my family members, like, what could I even do anything, like,
Right.
you know, so I sort of nearly took it personally, that, and so I decided to go off it for a while, and then Ciara got pregnant and we needed to hide it, and everybody kept offering her a drink.
Okay.
So it's like,
Right.
trying to start drinking here.
Right, okay.
Because at that stage, as the designated driver, Ciara really had no excuse to say no to a strawberry dagger or whatever. Like,
Right,
so,
okay.
So I'd take a few drinks. I'd enjoy a good pint of Guinness if you can get it, but just bottle of Coors or something like that. Not overly fussy.
Right, non-alcoholic.
Just dilute and orange. Yeah.
Okay. Favourite football ground?
Here, probably just like I love playing here. Surface is always very good, and just you know whenever you're running out and with your club jersey on, like it's more special than anything.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Your favourite person to score for Tyrone? One that stands out?
Probably the free kick against Kerry, the long one, just because of how far out it was. Like, you were sort of hitting it, and you were hoping that you just wouldn't make an idiot out of yourself and that it wouldn't drop about the 21.
We're not going to talk. We're going to get into that a bit more later on in the kicking. But yeah, that was some score. I can't believe he even went for it. But we'll talk about that. That was a big one. So pre-game ritual. Are you superstitious?
I was superstitious years ago, and would have had so many superstitions. I have zero now. I could literally do anything now. It wouldn't bother me. Like, I'd wear new boots, new gloves whenever I want. Like, if something happened before a game or whatever, it wouldn't faze me anymore. I read a book called Superstitionism by Dave White.
Right, very good.
And it just debunked everything that I'd ever believed superstitions were, and it just completely changed like me for before games. Like, it was great.
Right, okay. Do you track performance, or are you old school? Do you have a whoop or anything?
Yeah, I've got a whoop, and I've a GPS unit as well. Like, for club, I'd wear training and stuff just to sort of.
Do you do your own stats for the club?
Yeah, well, the club have 10 units, and I would be the one that downloads it all.
Oh, very
and
good.
Sort of fills in the manager and what's going on, and make wee graphs and tables and stuff. And then for whoop wise, it's just sort of, I suppose the big one for me is, I was an naysayer until I sort of seen about the. Whenever I got one, then I sort of try it, and the respiratory rate is the big one for me. Like just how it can nearly tell you whenever you're about to come down with something, like, and it gives you that sort of head start on getting your defence barriers up and get yourself sorted. Yeah,
it was big when COVID. I mean, COVID came out, and then I remember Whoop was being used for pro golfers at the start, and pro golfers were being picked up that they had COVID before they had symptoms, which was massive. And then they used Whoop for a lot of studies, and obviously now Whoop is it's everywhere in the GAA, which is great. Obviously, sponsor this video as well, so it's great to get chatting about it. But did Peter Donnelly or any coaches have you in Whoop groups, or is that a private thing? Or?
No, I think there was a Tyrone Whoop group, like, but it wasn't set up by management or anything. Like, there's loads of boys track it pretty religiously.
Right.
Like Myler's big into his, obviously. One of their ambassadors and stuff. And there's a fair few of the boys have them, like, so.
Brilliant. So you highly recommend?
Yeah.
Great stuff. Best game you've played in, club or county?
All-Ireland final, 2021. Like, just obviously we mentioned earlier, the pinnacle of your career. Like, you want to win All-Irelands, and it was unbelievable to know at probably 65, 66 minutes that you were going to win, and to give you that opportunity to savour it.
Yeah, absolutely. Best trainer in the Tyrone squad, hardest working trainer?
For me, it's probably Darren McCurry, but it's probably because I see him up close and personal, both club and a county. And probably the reason I say it is because, like, he's a tradesman as well. So for him to keep his body in the shape that it's in while working on a building site, from,
long hours.
From 8 to 4:30 or 5 to get down the road and be probably one of the fittest in the team, one of the strongest in the team, and one of the most skillful in the team is just testament to himself.
Brilliant. Best personal game for Tyrone stands out?
Personal game.
Somewhere along that All-Star season, maybe. there's one that
Probably
stands out.
All-Ireland final again.
Yeah.
Like scored 3 points from 3 free kicks, kept a clean sheet, saved a penalty.
Helping post.
So I personally, that was just massive for me. Like just sort of prove people wrong that you could do it in the biggest day.
Brilliant. Nearly there. First impressions of your first ever Tyrone training. I know we did bring it up, so I suppose that already answers it. Your first training session is probably that meeting that you went to.
Yeah,
that meeting obviously enticed you in because you came back.
Yeah, it made you believe that like you were going to win All Ireland realistically.
Right, that's what you want.
Like, and that's what you wanted to do. But like whenever you went to the first training session, you walked in that dressing room and you had Stevie O'Neill,
Yeah.
Conor Gormley, Sean Kavanagh, you know, and you're looking going, wow.
Yeah,
These are boys.
Privileged
that
to even be there.
Yeah, these are boys that I've looked up to, like, and now me and Stevie are good friends, like, and both started out in our new jobs there at the start of this year as well, like, so it's mad, like you're going to courses with him and you're driving up and down the road in the car, like, and you're thinking, jeez, this is.
And can you pull nuggets from him and different ideas, or do you talk about football? You do, yeah.
That's nearly all we talk about, like, it's, and like Stevie's got a real dry sense of humour, like,
Right.
so it's good crack too, like, you know, and you're trying to get him to bite at different things, and he's trying to get me to bite at different things, like, so it's good, like.
Great stuff. Last one, most influential person in your GAA career?
My dad.
From a young age, you
Yeah,
said,
from a young age, just always there, even for advice on things that he never ever was taking part in or anything. It's great to have somebody like him, and he supports you all the way, and only for him probably I wouldn't be here.
Brilliant, very important, very good.
Yep.
Right, Niall, on to our fun segment of the episode, okay, the shooting challenge. I have faith in you here, okay, you take frees,
I gathered that.
you play outfield, you can hit 45s. Samuel Roy is at the top of the leaderboard with 10 out of 11.
He's safe. He's safe.
I don't know, look at, we have 10 footballs, total score of 11. You have 3 across the 13, 3 across the 21, 2 on either side of the D, 1 on top of the D and 1 at the 45, okay? The catch is the 1 on the 45, out your hands is a point, off the floor, which I'm sure you're going to go for, is going to be worth 2 points,
Yep.
okay? You can go either foot for all of them, but you have to go weaker foot for the ones in the middle, 13 and 21, okay?
Yep.
Off your hands off the ground or out of your hands, totally up to you.
Yep.
Now what I will say is, I probably didn't say the last episode, no offence to the 2 girls, but they were having a bit of fun with it. I want you to take this as serious as you possibly can.
Yep.
You said you're quite competitive, and there is a leaderboard there, and you're trying to get up to you need 11 out of 11 to top it, okay?
Yeah.
So we're going to start here. So you take your own time, you place this wherever way you like, either foot. I'll let you do your thing. White ball.
If I miss this, I'm going home. The ball should stay.
Episode scrapped. I hate this one. I don't know. I hate watching it even. That's okay.
Safe that.
Now you told me a little story off camera about this section, okay?
Yeah.
It's very wet.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a bog. Now Edendork did play a league game here, a national league game against Kerry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is there a reason why Kerry got a lot of free ball in this corner of the pitch?
Yeah, so that day, like, it's wet now, but that day it was really wet. The grass was longer, and I knew if it came down in here, like, they weren't getting back out. So we intentionally sort of sent them down this channel, and it worked out for us, thankfully.
Wow, okay. Now you're going off the ground here.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, it's very windy. I actually will say this is a really, really tough one. It's really, really windy this side, okay? So I will give you that. Great score, Niall. Wow. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
It really was a tough one, okay? Good score. That's 2 from 3. Nice one. 3 from 4. Score 4 from 5, okay? Love it, yeah.
More like
Good
it.
Score.
Ah!
Oh no!
Should have hit it off the deck.
5 from 7. You're skipping that one. You're going to go to the other one. Yeah.
Here.
Nice. 6. 6 from 8. Lovely. 7. So this is the one where you're looking at getting 2 points off the deck, take you up to 9 from out of 11.
Oh!
No! All right, okay. Great stuff, well done.
Oh, poor.
Okay. So that was 7.
7. Yeah.
7 out of 11, okay. Tidy return. I said it to everyone, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough, yeah.
It is tough because you've only one shot per side.
Yeah.
Just on, really, I want to touch on the kicking side of things. Okay, is there anything that growing up you've changed in terms of your style? Or if there's anything a young person would ask you as a goalkeeper or a free taker, what you would focus on when kicking off the ground?
I think it's important everybody finds their own style. Like some people would say to me, how many steps back should I take? Everybody like whenever I was 14, 15, I was like 9 steps back, 2 to the left, and it was just a hammer. Like you were just driving the ball as hard as you can. Whereas now it's like I feel I've got the power that it's just like nearly chipping the ball.
Yeah.
Like I know I've dragged that bad there, like, but like I don't feel like I need to hit it hard from the 45 anymore. So it's my biggest advice for people is to start close and work your way out. Because if you come out to the 45 and you start from here and you're dropping the chart, you're going to lose all your technique. You're just going to start whacking the ball. Whereas if you go to say the 20 and you just work on technique until it's always over the bar, out to the edge of the D or middle of the D, same again. If I came to the pitch to practice, I wouldn't even come to the 45.
Right, really?
I had 40 metres at the most, and just technique purely, because in a game day you're going to get the extra 5 metres, the adrenaline's going to be up.
Yeah.
And like even whenever I'm practicing from 40 metres, I'm never just dropping the ball over the bar, like, you know, there's another 5 or 10 metres in it anyway, so. And
you mentioned in the summer you feel as if that's your time that you can really glide the ball and the ball moves better.
The summer the ball's going to travel more in the warm air, like I'm big into golf, you know, and it's the same in it, like you're hitting the ball far further in a summer's day, like, so, like, if you're practicing these conditions and it's windy and the pitch is a wee bit damp and you're connecting well with the ball, the summer's going to be easy for you.
Yeah. Oh, great stuff. Very good. So I've kind of extended another little segment. Okay, reason being is that I watched back that 70-yard point you scored against Kerry. I'll have it up on the screen so you can see it back. It was 70 yards. It was basically just where the throw up is in Croker. That was a summer's day, was it?
Yeah.
So all going well there, and I had another 5 metres in it too, which was big. So I have went 5 metres out from the 45. See, can we try and recreate and see how far back we can get? You've one chance at each. Okay, you're going to get a chance at every single one. You didn't hit the 45, you shanked it, but you have another chance now to go 50, 55, 65, and then we'll see at the end how you're feeling, okay?
Grand, yeah.
Right, you take your time, okay? And then we'll talk about it after. Oh, yes, lad! All right, that's 50 metres done. Ooh.
Hold.
What do you think went wrong there?
Everything.
Did you hit the ground a little bit more?
Yeah.
Wow! So right now you're probably losing your technique, you're trying to drive the ball.
Yeah. There's not much technique going on at this stage.
No. This is the last one here, we'll go 65 metres roughly, okay? Oh, go on.
Well short.
Stuff unlucky. Look at, you can see there from the further you go back, the technique goes out the window.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for young people. Start in nice and close, working your technique, and then as you get to the 45, 50, it's more so of knowing you have the power, and you just follow through the motion. Good stuff. Very good. Right now, the final segment of the episode, 40-yard dash is the 37 metres, 38 metres. Okay, Tyrone McCann is at the top of that with 4.5 seconds. Okay, gee, it is windy again, big time. The wind's running into you. We'll say it like that, okay? You start when you start. I don't say go, and I'll just hit the timer.
Perfect.
All good?
Yep.
Okay. Woo! 4.8. 4.85 to be exact. Not bad.
Take it for.
Not bad for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for everything. Really enjoyed that.
Thank you. Thanks for coming down.
Hopefully everyone's back home and pick plenty from that. Great stuff. Yep. Thanks guys. What I will say is back home, if you could subscribe, that'd be fantastic. There is a couple more episodes coming. Couple big names coming, just like you have had in the past. And hope you enjoyed it. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks.